Hay bunk. Dad and I built this in 2008. I wouldn't mind popping the plywood. We just got this plywood, just a couple screws randomly to hold the plywood on the sides, because at the time he would use it for the steers, and we'd back up under the old dairy conveyors and run a bunch of silage in out of the harvest store. And then you'd pull over to the roller mill and scoop in and throw in a bunch of feed, and then I think he did that for a year, and then he bought that little Oswald mixer and then started bunk feeding the cattle instead. But it's a good cart here. We used heavy iron on it. Just sitting here, tempted to knock this plywood off and drop bales in. That way the cattle just eat the bales, you know, out of the bunk, and you don't have the mess on the ground. A lot less waste. But on them big stemmy bales, yeah, once a week or whatever, you might have to get in and throw that stemminess out, but that's all right. They'll give them something to lay on for some bedding. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what. We'll have to try it, you know. Not let's see, let's try it, and see what the cattle think of it, and go from there. I don't know if I'll get to it today, but maybe next week. Next week's supposed to be super cold, and then warm and cold. You got a day at 20, and then a day at 10 below, and a day at 20, and a day at 5 below. Kind of a roller coaster next week, but yeah, maybe we'll plan on that. Next week, let's get this out, get that plywood out, get it loaded up with bales, and drop it in their feedlot and see what the cows think of it. So, I don't know, if anybody else has been using these for hay, let me know what you think. If you like yours, or if you went away from it. I also think it would give me more area to feed the oats and the soybeans and the corn. That little bunk they got, that 16-foot bunk, they all eat fine when I first put the grain in, you know, but as the grain starts to thin out, then the pushing and shoving comes, where here there's enough feed here that a guy can get, the cow has a little more time, and then with the neck gates, there's less pushing and shoving. And so yeah, if you're using one of these, let me know what you think. Or if you went away from it, let me know why you went away from it, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, thank you much. Thank you for your input on this one. I couldn't wait. I just had to try it. I just kicked the plywood off quick, and we'll throw some bales in there. Maybe I'll put a couple of the grass, the brassica hay, and then one good quality marshmallow in there, and give them some time to clean that up and see how that all works out. I don't know. We're here to learn, I guess. They need more quality. They've got big bellies. Them cows, you know, let's be honest. We can be polite to each other and compliment each other's animals, but let's be honest. The cows need a little bit of conditioning. They got big bellies and thin hips. To me, as far as normal animal basics go, that means they've just been eating a lot of hay and a lot of roughage, and you can see it in their manure. They've had very little quality. So we got them on a diet of oats, a little bit of soybean, you know, the oats and soybean mix. We'll give them a little splash of grain. We'll give them some better quality hay, not the good stuff. We got the good stuff here for January, February when it gets cold. But we'll put this okay stuff, you know, this stuff be a couple points less on protein. And so that stuff there was that 13 or a little better. This will be that 11-ish, maybe 12-ish on protein, and a little lower digestible nutrients. A lot, I think, because of some of the weed stems are in there, you're going to have more waste per bale. But that's where the marshmallow will come in. We'll put a bale of baleage in there and let them hog on that and see how that turns out. I think that would be a good balance, because then they can bounce between the two. And if they choose to eat the baleage all up, Well, then they're going to go for several days to clean that hay up because they don't get a new bale till all the hay is gone. But they need a lot of protein, a lot of good value, and some moisture. You can't just feed them all just super dry hay. They got to have some moisture in their diet. And so let's have some fun here. Throw a few of them, one of them, and pull it into the pen and see what happens over the next couple days as to how they eat it. These actually lay in there very nicely. Plop it right on in there. Whoop. Just like downtown with a few less people. Oh yeah, this is gonna be nice. I get more in there than I was thinking. It's funny, in your head you think of linear feet, you know, well, if the bales are 5 feet, you get this many bales. But a lot of times it don't work out that way. But once in a while, a blind squirrel finds a nut. Well, let's grab a marshmallow here and see what we can, if we can plop one of them down in there somehow. This marshmallow on the plastic wrap had a big hole down at the bottom on the one side we missed. So it's kind of a little bit soury by that hole, but the rest of it smelt pretty okay. In fact, when you got to the opposite side of that hole, it smelled like fresh cut hay. It didn't smell like haylage. It just smelled like preserved dry hay, but it's still so tender and soft and juicy that it'll be fun to pull on in there just to see the cattle's reaction, if the cows are going to flock to that bale or what. With them big noses, they'll smell that stuff a mile away. There's a good chance I'll start coming down the driveway and the cows are going to start to climb over the gates and paw and fight, but oh well. But yeah, 4 bales, you get a bale and a half each day. So by rights I should have a week's worth of feed here. So then all I got to do is every day just throw them a couple pails of the soybeans, oats, and a couple pails of corn, and they should be good to go. Well, bear with me guys, bear with me. Them cows will be pretty come calving time. I'm kind of glad we built that cart. Maybe I'll go live with Farming 4G for the winter. Kind of an intern program. I bet a paid intern, you know, union scale at half rate, you know, and get 20 bucks an hour. That wouldn't be a bad internship out there. I think if we would have made this pen 7 inches smaller in any direction, that's the old dairy lagoon. If we made this pen a few inches smaller in any direction, I don't think this would have worked. But they can smell. They're already smelling that bale. They're gonna be liking that. They're keeping it clean. Yeah, this side here, they're pulling at and eating it, but that's the whole purpose of this bunk, is when they pull and eat and drop, it's dropping in the bunk. All them leaves. Yeah.